Hey guys, what is going on? This is Travis P11. I'd like to welcome you back to the channel. And if you've been watching the channel the last couple videos that I've been posting here, I've become an influencer slash affiliate for Tmat. So what basically is happening is Tmat is going to be sending me their products and I'm going to be testing them and showing them off. I will have a link for you guys in the bottom of the video in the description box that you can click on. And that link is going to give you guys 10% off a pretty good chunk of the Tmat items and accessories that are for sale on the website. And if you're not familiar with Tmat, it is basically a modular cargo management system for pickup trucks. And I've become, I guess you could say, a fairly new pickup truck owner myself. Within the last 8 months, I've now got a truck, and I'm always having to haul stuff. You know, I don't haul skid steers or heavy equipment, but I do haul a lot of stuff that practical, everyday people haul: furniture, yard stuff, you know, stuff from the hardware store, tools, firing range items, hunting equipment, stuff like that. And I don't like that stuff to roll around when I'm driving, and that's where the Tmat system comes into place. It's a complete system of cargo management. And if you click on the link down below in the description box, you can see everything they have to offer. Well, Tmat is now sending me items to test out on the channel. So if you ever want to secure like generators or compressors or toolboxes or hunting boxes or, you know, firearms cases, anything you want to haul that you don't want rolling around in your truck bed, you want to keep stuff organized and neat, this is where the Tmat system comes into play. I've used it with luggage and furniture that we've picked up, and like I said, items from the hardware store and tools. They have everything from ramps you can use to secure wheeled tools like compressors, generators, welding kits and stuff like that, all the way down to 5-gallon buckets. So let's go and open up the box real quick and see what Tmat sent us. I've got a bunch of boxes coming from these guys, so you're going to get videos over the next couple days. So let me go and just hide my address information here. So they sent me the Tmat loose fit anchors, a 4-pack, and the Tmat tight fit stout stationary blockers 2-pack. I've got tons of other items that are coming right now. So we're going to take a look at those and we'll see what Tmat says on their website about the loose fit anchors and the tight fit stout stationary blockers and what that's all about. So the tight fit stationary blockers, I believe, okay, so I was one of the early people to get a Tmat system. It was a gift given to me by my fiance, and it did not include these particular blockers. Okay, these are the tight fit stout stationary blockers. So let's go to the website and just see what they say about these versus the regular blockers. Just off the top, the plastic feels a lot more rigid than it does in the original blockers that you get. I think there's something about the actual peg size themselves, the plugs in the mat, that makes them a little bit different. So I've got 4 of those, which is going to work good, especially if you're dealing with some heavier items. Now, just bear in mind, guys, if you're using this system, you know, you obviously want to use ratchet straps or anything that's really tall. Because if you remember anything from physics, guys, once your center of gravity exceeds your base, things fall over. And that's pretty easy to happen when you're dealing with, you know, trucks and so on. And I've also got 2x4 holders coming and ramps coming and all kinds of other stuff, and the 5-gallon bucket braces. And then these are your loose fit anchors. Essentially what you can do is you can screw these in the bottom of basically anything that you want to secure in your truck. Maybe you've got a wood frame that you built for hauling bikes, or you've got a wooden toolbox or something that you want to do. You've got a spot here that you can use to screw the items in. So real quick, let's just go to the Tmat website and see what they say about both of these items, and we'll let you guys know what we're going to do with these. And we're just going to put them in and see how well they work in the back of the truck bed, and just maybe test them out a little bit. I might try to attach these to something and see what I can do. I know I do want to get some crates to put in the back of the truck for when I'm hauling things around. So hang tight and we'll test them, guys. And so the Tmat tight fit stout stationary blockers, a 2-pack is $26.99, and that's before you get the Travis P11 discount, which again, guys, if you click on the link down below, you'll get 10% off your order for most of the accessories and items that are for sale. Essentially, there really isn't much of a description here on the website, but I do believe that these are a tighter fit in the blocks. There's something about them that makes them. So when we plug them in, we'll compare these to the original loose fit blockers. Now, reading feedback from people, a lot of guys like to use these with your heavier items. These are less prone to flex than the original blockers are. Nothing wrong with the original blockers, but you have to know your limitations of anything that you're hauling. And the tight fit blockers are just very stout, very rigid. They have an internal frame in them. And yeah, these are very nice. We're definitely going to test these out. And again, designed to kind of interlock, and you know, 2x4s can go up against these. They have 90-degree cuts in them, so you can get your boxes in there and so on. So yeah, so just checking the website again, guys, before any kind of discount. We're looking at $9.99 for a 4-pack of the loose fit anchors, and I'm kind of checking out what they do. So here they show some screws that adjust, that you can turn some knobs, so you could put items across here. So if you have a hole drilled, you can secure down pretty much whatever you want to. I would imagine you can do a screw going up. And let's see what else we have for pictures here. Here they show the bottom of them. So you do have holes that go all the way through them also. So you could potentially drill into the plastic. So you could have up to 4 screws and one in the center if you wanted to, like a bolt for that matter. It says that the Tmat loose fit anchors allow for the DIY creation of custom blockers. Size to fit into Tmat square panels and Tmat strips. They can be bolted or screwed under the bottom of custom blockers, boxes, and other products that you wish to loosely sit in your Tmat. The center hole is for a 1/4 inch or 7mm bolt. Wood screws can also be used coming up through the 4 corners. So that's probably what I'm going to use. I've got a bunch of wood screws around the house here. And you can use those in there. And it says if you're looking for a tighter fit on less frequently removed accessories, check out the Snap Tight Tmat anchors. So they do have some tighter fitting anchors. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few of my rifle cases, my hard cases, and I'm going to screw these in the bottom of my hard cases. Now look guys, they're just plain oak cases. They're hard plastic. I'm going to maybe put some glue on these and then put some screws in the bottom and secure these in my gun cases. And then I'll be able to just simply set my gun case down. It'll lock into place in the bed of my truck and it's not going to roll around at all. I don't have to worry about stacking it or having anything fall over or anything break open. Now you can put these on the bottom of crates if you want to. You can put these on 2x4s, plywood, basically anything you want to. If you want to be able to make it basically into your own Tmat accessory holder, you can do so. And so I don't know if I'm going to do that particular project now, but I will just put these in and just see how well they hold. But I do want to get those in a gun case at some point here in the near future. So we'll show these items off. We'll show how well they hold, just see if they feel a little more stout, a little more rigid. Okay guys, so here are the Tmat Quick Fit Light Stationary Blockers, and this is what I started off with originally. They're fairly easy to remove. You know, they just slide in, they slide out. They've been used a lot, but they really haven't seemed to have lost any tension. If you look underneath, there's not a lot of rigidity there, but they do hold what they need to hold in place with no issues, okay? Then if you look over on the left-hand side here, we've got the Tmat Tight Fit Stout Stationary Blockers in a 2-pack. Okay, now these are a little bit shorter, but they're also much more secure. When you put them in, they do fit a lot tighter overall. They seem to, I don't know if they necessarily stab deeper, but they are definitely a lot more tight when it comes to pulling them out. So, and they're also a lot more rigid inside. There's a lot less flexibility. You've got that frame that's in there. And so this might be the way that you want to go in the future if you order some, if you really want to get stuff locked in, and if you know you're going to be using ratchet straps. This is going to help you with some of those heavier items from pushing against them and possibly working their way out. But like I said, I do use this on, you know, I've used these on several different items and not had problems, but there would have been times where it would have been nice to have something a little bit stouter, and we do have those right now too. And then just to show you kind of a side-by-side size comparison, you can see that there's a difference in the height between them also, okay? And you also have like a bit of a ledge right here too, whereas you don't have that on the left-hand side. Now, when it comes to the anchors, let's talk about this real quick, because I'm discovering that I really do like these little loose fit anchors that we got going on here. Okay, so we've got a couple examples of them here, right? So to secure them, they do recommend some wood screws. They recommend, you know, some sort of screws that you screw into whatever you want to keep them stationary. So an issue that you run into is, you know, how do I get these to basically line up with the things that I'm trying to screw these into? Because, you know, you can measure it, but if you're off a couple 16ths of an inch or whatever, they're not gonna line up when you try to put them back in. So what you'd want to do is basically position them so that they're gonna match the base of whatever you are basically gonna be attaching them to, all right? And a little pro tip, what I did was I put some of these command strips on the back. I did that on each one of these blocks, okay? So I put one here, I put one here, put one here, put one here, and then I've got 4 more down on the end. And then I'm gonna show you this in a little bit. I pulled these off so they were sticky, and then I just sat down on here, whatever it is that I wanted to put my screws in, okay? So if you have nothing on here, you know, you're measuring, trying to figure out how to put these on, whatever you wanna put them on. And these are super thin, so they don't compromise the screw that you're putting in there. I bought a 1-inch number 6 screw. That's what I bought. They do recommend you can use wood screws if you want to. I wanted a screw that was gonna go in kind of at an angle here that would seat itself well. And they do stick out about a 1/4 inch from the bottom, and that's enough to secure what I need for what I'm gonna show you guys here in a little bit. Okay, so what we have here, guys, is one of my favorite rifle cases. It's a nice hard case. I use it when I travel quite a bit. Bad thing about it is that you do have these little nubs on one side of it. This is basically on the top for stacking and stuff. It's going to make it a little more secure. Unfortunately, these also prevent me from being able to put the blockers on there, okay? So what I did was I went ahead and attached the anchors onto the case. All right, so you're saying, well, how did you get that to work out? Well, it's pretty simple. All I did was I took the adhesive backed anchors, right? And I basically measured at least, you know, the width I was going to need, which was 6 inches. So I put the anchors down 6 inches apart, and then I measured out the length that I wanted to go right here, and I put it approximately in the hole that I wanted to put it in. So I had 4 of these set up, I had the sticky side up, and then all I did was just set my gun case down on top of each of the anchors. I just pressed down on the corners, right? And then when I pulled back on it, they were basically stuck on. Okay, then all I had to do after that was put 1 screw in each corner, you know, get the 4 screws in, and this thing is ready to go. So now all I got to do is flip it over and lock it in, and it's not going to be moving at all whenever I go to the gun range or decide to go deer hunting or whatever I decide to do. So I can pack several firearms in here, and I don't have to worry about it basically sliding around anymore because it's now secured in place. Now, I mean, I could have used different screws if I wanted to. I could have possibly used some wood screws or maybe some longer screws, but these are very secure and these are not coming out. And the fact that I'm using the loose fit anchors means that they're really not that hard to take out. And I basically, now if you notice, they're not like equidistant from the ends on both sides. It's actually a little bit of an offset. And that's because this has a handle on one side. So I wanted to be able to lock this down so the handle's over on this side and have the rifle case run, you know, parallel with the wheel well. And that's going to basically maximize my space for me and keep the case handy and ready to go and accessible. So these are awesome because you can basically make anything you want Tmat compatible if you don't mind drilling into it. And you can also put bolts in there if you want to, and you can put, you know, little twisty handles on the top to secure stuff down. If you've got like the Milwaukee pack-out system, you know, you can use those with it also, or anything that has a frame that you want to lock in. So while I am basically just using the blockers, you know, most of the time when I'm out and about, this does actually add a lot more flexibility to a lot of the items that I have. So long as you don't mind drilling into it, and I really don't care. It's an old gun case, it gets beat up, it gets used, but now I don't have to worry about it sliding around, especially if I'm just going to take a couple rifles out to the range and I don't want to have to just throw this thing in the back seat and get my back seat dirty or whatnot. It is very, very handy. So yeah, definitely do check into these anchors, guys. These are very cool. One thing that my fiance, Gun Bunny P11, did recommend was she said it would be nice that they would have like some Velcro that would come with these so that you can kind of get them positioned where you want them, but also be able to move them around to get them to fit perfectly. So maybe some sort of adhesive on here would be kind of cool to do that initial sticking, and then you definitely want to put the screws and anchor stuff down. And again, these little tight fit blockers, very, very nice. These are definitely going to get used, and so I'll leave them in the back of the truck and start using them. Now, Tmat did send me some more accessories, so I've got some more items to show you in another video. This box showed up earlier, so I started working on this one earlier in the day, and I've got more coming. And again, these items are provided to me for free from Tmat, so you guys are getting my review of these items. If there's something about them I didn't like, I would definitely let you know. I'm also going to suggest improvements that I think the end user might like that maybe Tmat doesn't think about. Again, no insulting the engineers. They do a wonderful job of what they do. And so that's a cool thing about this whole process, is being able to work with Tmat and test out the products and let you guys know what I think about them. So again, use that link down below. You guys will save 10% off most of your Tmat accessories and kits, so you'll definitely save, you know, the 10% off that initial mat to get you set up and started, and then also those blockers. So do check it out. Go use the link down below, guys. You'll also help out my channel, and you guys can save some money in the process, and that link will definitely help you out. It's in the description box. So otherwise, guys, that's it. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we will bring you more Tmat videos in the near future as I continue to discover how much more with this modular cargo system I can do, and I'm loving it right now. It's great. But otherwise, guys, I want you to have fun. I want you to be safe. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, take care and have a great night. Bye-bye.